The Prairie Lily boat was originally constructed in 1989. Of course, the structure was constructed. The Prairie Lily part came a little bit after. Here to tell us a bit more about that history is Captain Mike. So Mike, tell us, how did this boat get here to Saskatoon?
Well, we actually shopped around for it. There were a number of ships this size for sale around North America, as close as Winnipeg and as far away as San Francisco. It came from Laughlin, Nevada, on the Colorado River. Now, the reason we chose this boat immediately, as soon as I had a look at it and we walked around and took a closer look at it, was the fact that there was absolutely not a speck of rust anywhere. Getting it here was quite the evolution. A very, very, very large truck and a very, very large trailer with 40 wheels under it.
Oh, wow.
And the ship was kind of disassembled.
Yes.
And brought up here. It took the better part of a month between one thing and another to get it here, and then reassembled.
That's
and
right.
then launched here in Saskatoon. So this is our 4th season for this ship.
Yes, so it came here around 2011, 2012.
2012, yeah.
2012, perfect. And I heard a rumor it was reassembled or refurbished at Prairie Land and then brought over here. Is that true?
What happened was they were nice enough to allow us to park the boat on its trailer there while it was prepared to be relaunched. And then another reason Prairie Land parking lot was chosen was because they were just completing this construction of the South Bridge. So that berm turned out to be the ideal launching point.
Very cool. Well, I can tell it's only June. The season had just started, and there's already lots of people here wanting to have their cruise. So I can tell this is a popular thing for Saskatoonians and tourists. Why do you think this boat brings value to our city?
Well, as you said, the tourists, of course, but it adds yet another thing. The river is an important part of Saskatoon.
Yes.
I mean, everybody talks about the river and whatever. So putting the ship on the river, getting people out onto the river is really interesting. Not only for the tourism trade, but also for Saskatoonians themselves to get to see their city from the water side. It is the biggest ship that's been on this river since 1907 or 1908 in the steamboat days.
Yes.
And I also spent 27 years in the Navy Reserve. So when we first acquired this ship and brought it to Saskatoon, it was actually interesting. The ship had a very similar propulsion plant and a very similar control system that some of the harbor ferries on the coasts and the naval dockyards have.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to today's just hanging out on the Prairie Lily. This will be my first time on the boat. I know we're even gonna go squeeze into some tight spaces to check out, just like you were mentioning, the engine, the propeller system. And Mike is gonna teach us all about that coming up, so you definitely want to stay tuned.